All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining me on this masterclass today on a Monday evening. This is Gary Simmonds. For those of you who don't know me, I'm going to be breaking down this series of building the strategic skill sets of network marketing. I'm going to share tonight more in a table of contents style. I'm not going to deep dive into any one topic. I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to be going over a series of several weeks, why these key principles are important. Maybe they all apply to you. Maybe they won't. Maybe it's something you already know. Maybe you learned something new. But I do understand that many people in this team family, in this industry, haven't been exposed to this type of information, this type of training. I've been very privileged over 30 years now, almost 30 years, to be exposed to some very incredible men and women that I've been able to collage the best of what I've learned from them and kind of microwave it, condense it into a system that I've been using for 13 years now. It's created multiple seven-figure earners, and I won't get too much into that story, but we've built teams of $50 million plus, enrolled over 200,000 plus people, and that's not something I do by myself, guys. I've learned to leverage the power of community, the power of contact list. And so because I understand that most of you already identified, you should have identified why this is important to you, why you're doing this. Don't treat this any differently than taking a course or going to college, because people spend a lot of time and effort going to college. Higher education, super important for some people, right? And they'll spend the money and they'll sacrifice even when it's not there. I tell people all the time, and Latoya reminded me about this a couple of weeks ago. She's like, I remember you telling me people don't relate to your struggle. They relate to your sacrifice. And that is true. So write that down. I'm going to be dropping all kind of nugget bombs on you all tonight. People do not relate to your struggle. They relate to your sacrifice. So when people tell me they don't have money, it just means it's not important enough yet to sacrifice. When they tell me they don't have time, it's just not important enough yet to sacrifice. So what you want to do first off out the gate is decide why is it you're even pursuing business success in the first place. Like, what do you want? What do you even want? And how important it is for you to get what you want. Most people desire things, they want things, but it's not that important to get it. That's why they take off for 2 weeks, they do Zooms for 1 week, they may do a 3-week call 1 month, and you don't see them again for 4 months. That is not somebody who's focused, because I know none of you, anybody in this call, if you graduated college or any higher education or anything that required tenacity, discipline, and focus, sports, maybe the current career that you're in now, you've advanced, you got promoted to VP, or you got a really great position because you studied, you sacrificed, right? You told the kids and the spouse, hang on, I'm going to be late tonight for the next several weeks because mom or dad is working on a promotion, and you put the time in. That is the same type of dedication that it takes to build large success in network marketing. You know, I'm not in direct sales. LMD's in the direct sales business. Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, companies like that. Those are direct sales companies. They're a part of the direct selling association. I'm not. I get paid to build networks that produce orders, the same thing that you all get paid to do. So I'm in network marketing, and there's no identity crisis there. Sometimes people don't know what they're in, and they have an identity crisis. So they're out there selling. No, it's okay if you sell. You'll make some PV. You'll make some money. But you're not going to get to the financial freedom, which I can't promise, right? I can't make income claims or guarantees, but you're not going to get to the financial freedom selling. I've done that. It didn't work. And my $2 billion mentor asked me a question. He said, how many people are loving this product that you're selling, that are sharing their story on a call that you're hosting with their friends and family listening? I was like, huh? We got to that conversation because I felt stuck. I hit a rank. It was a pretty significant rank, but I did most of it myself. Some of you are going through that right now, and you're wondering why you're stuck. You're stuck because you can't get duplication. Duplication is when you're doing something so simple the average person can do without talent or experience or influence or credibility, guys. And so that was a lesson learned, and I'm grateful that I learned it because I had mentorship. And so my journey here in LMV only began maybe 15, 16 months ago, October, 2024. And I hit director in like a couple months, and then we grew. We had a few people that joined me, and you see what happened in November. Coach Tony Freeney came in, and some other folks teamed up, and you see what happened In February, we had Latoya, Moody, senior creator, George Ward, Tony, go director. I went senior director. Why? We were inviting people to Zooms. We were getting people on calls because the average person is not good at pitching or selling anything. When you accept that, you don't have to judge people. You empower them to get to their contact list before they mess it up. Most people are going to mess up the people you bring into your team. The vast majority of them, they're going to mess up their contact list in the first 24 to 72 hours, and they're going to quit. So I'm telling you this. And I'm going to deep dive into those segments throughout the series as we go through the series over the course of these weeks. But this is education, guys. And anything worth learning is worth really studying. Sometimes people say, Gary, I only watched the training video once. I'm like, why? Did you watch the video to graduate college once? Did you read the chapter once? You wouldn't have. You have all the tools it takes to succeed. You just have to decide why it's important to do it and apply the same thing. You're already an executive director. You're just not focused here. So I'm going to move on down the station and then, look at what the team family has grown into now from July to this. And this wall still isn't updated. We have a couple more folks to actually add on here, but we're moving and grooving down the station, family. This is what's happening in real time. I don't teach theory, and I'm not here to philosophize anybody, guys. I don't live in that space. I'm not into the clout and the hype of network marketing. Respectfully, some people are. That's their thing, and they move from one company to the next. So I will get into, deep diving into those topics. But for tonight, I'm simply going to kind of like touch and go on some key points. Okay, first key point, I want you to frame what it is you're doing. I'm going to give you 2 things to carry as a frame. Write this down, please. It's going to stay with you for a long time. The first thing you're doing, number 1, is building an audience. If you are not working at building an audience in this business, you don't know what business you're in. Okay, and I mean that respectfully, not as an insult. It's just, ignorance a lot of times is innocent. This is the only picture that I work on. Building an audience of people that spit out orders every month. If you count the dollars that we're generating on a daily basis now, we're doing about $15,000 to $20,000 a day as a team now. It's all about building an audience. And those who know me know that's my favorite picture, so I'm going to leave it up here on the screen. Because once you're done selling, once you've done sold it to a few people, guys, and then what? You ran out of contacts, you got to run ads, you don't know how to run ads, right? Your downline, your partners that you bring in, they can't sell like you. So you're going to go through the same thing that I went through for 17 years when I got stuck. So number 1, you're building an audience. That's why we're here in network marketing. I am not in direct sales. The companies are. So that's the first frame. Let's say that I'm promoting Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion. I like Celine Dion. And my job is to promote. I'm a promoter, a brand partner. I'm going to sell tickets to the, Celine Dion concert. I'm probably going to give away the tickets for free. My job is to sell records, though. My job is to sell Celine Dion albums. The same way we're going to get people to purchase peptides. So if I'm going to sell a Celine Dion album to people who don't have an understanding of what that is and they never heard her sing, what's better for me to do? To sing her songs to them myself or to allow them to hear the record? Maybe I'll play the hottest couple of tracks for them. Wow, who is that? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to invite you to the concert. I'm going to give you a seat in my audience. This is why we've had over 37,000 people confirmed for our Zooms in just the last year, because I'm an audience builder, and that's what I teach people to do. So if I'm going to sell a lot of Celine Dion albums, I'm going to let people hear the record and give them a free ticket to the concert. Write that down just like that. When you invite people to the Zoom, you're giving them a free ticket to hear that person live. Now, I could go, hey, I got the answers, man. I can sell this thing. I'm going to get them in. I don't need to do a three-way call. I don't need no upline. Near, far, wherever. Boo, boo. See, that's how you sound when you're not the peptide expert and you're explaining it to people because you just think you could just tell them. Oh, I can sing. I know that. It's not that. That's the person with the authority. That's the person with the talent and the credibility. I need to have my friends and family hear it live. Facts tell, stories sell. So if I'm going to sell a lot of albums, I got to give out a lot of free concert tickets. A Zoom invitation is a free concert ticket for them to come hear it live and decide to buy that album on their own merit. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I will not go sing those songs one by one to people, which is what people do when they're out here pitching peptides to people one by one, because they think they can sing. They think they have the knowledge of peptides. It's not about what you do. It's about what you can duplicate. So that's the first frame I want you to have. The second frame is likened to driving a car. Most of us, when we start driving a car for the first time, we're scared. Why? Because it's new and there's a lot of traffic on the road and we're not driving on the highway. We're staying on the back streets. We're in the car. And some people make the mistake of not picking up a driving instructor. Or maybe they don't have a good driving instructor. Maybe they have older siblings who's just going to give them a hard time. But you got to find a good driving instructor that's willing to actually help you. You're like, well, I think I need to read the manual first. No, you don't. I want to read about the engine. No, you don't. I want to read about the drive shaft and the transmission and all the manufacturer specifications. No, you don't. If you want to drive the car, you find an experienced driving instructor. You hop in, put on your seatbelt, put your hands on the 10s and 2s, and slowly hit the gas. And follow the system of driving. See, that's how you shift into the future, guys and gals. You follow a system. Many people are stuck in first gear because they're not listening to a driving instructor with experience. Maybe they got a friend that maybe hit a couple of ranks and think they know everything. They're stuck and now you're stuck, like the blind leading the blind. If you're going to go somewhere, you got to find somebody who's been someplace you haven't been and deliberately follow them with a sense of focus. So that's my first topic. And I'm not going to deep dive. I'm just going to be hitting and missing, hitting and going down the list, and we'll deep dive as we get into the series, like I said. But the first part of driving is lane focus. If you have to get to California for a funeral, or maybe you have a loved one that's about to get to a funeral, they're about to die, and you want to see grandma before she passes, you got to get there in a couple of days, guys. You probably got to get there in 24 to 48 hours. How many different roads are you going to be driving on at the same time if you're going to get to California? You got to go west as fast as you can. I'm probably taking I-10 and I-20, and I'm going fast on the highway that's proven to get there. So many people, they're on this road, then they go on a back road, and they wonder why they're not director yet, because you're on a back road. And sometimes they're on the right road, but they don't have to get there. It's almost like nobody's dying. There's no sense of urgency, so it doesn't matter if I get there. That's why they're off in the woods. That's why they're not focused. But if you got to get somewhere by a certain time frame, that means you have a goal. A goal is a decision with a deadline. Please write that down. A goal is a decision with a deadline. And if you dare to write down your goal, the universe owes you that goal, because you've made a physical copy in this physical realm. You've taken it from the metaphysical and brought it into the physical realm because you actually wrote it with a pen or pencil on paper, something concrete, physical, tangible. You can touch it. My goals are written on my bathroom mirrors, on my refrigerator. My son came over the other day. He's like, "Pop, you got it written on your fridge?" Yeah, it's my fridge. I'm there 3 or 4 times in a day. I'm going to see that goal a lot. I don't believe in vision boards. People who teach vision boards they're perfectly right in their frame. My frame, absolutely not. I believe in vision environments. My dreams are written on my laptop keypad, so I see that a lot. My dreams are written on my bathroom wall. They're written on my mirror. I have sticky notes on my ceiling when I wake up in the morning. I'm constantly feeding my brain impulse signals of the life that I want to manifest. So that's focus. So if you're going to get somewhere, you got to have lane focus. You can't be over here following 10 different teams and 10 different playbooks, so you follow it today and not tomorrow. And you also have to listen to the driving instructor and be coachable. A lot of people are just not coachable. Can't coach them. They're going to hop in the car. They're not listening to anything. They're grinding the gears, and they're pissed if you're trying to, correct them or help them. It's different, guys. You got to work with the willing and work with the coachable. So if you're not coachable, you already lose from day one. Focus and coachability handles almost everything else I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to go on down. Number 2, you got to have a sense of urgency. Like, do you really want to get to grandma before she passes away? How bad do you want to get to $5,000 a month? How bad do you want to get to $5,000 a week? How bad do you want to get to $5,000 a day? That's what I'm working on. That decision has already been made and written down. Well, where do you want to go in life? Where do you want to go in this business? I just don't know. I'm just trying out to see what happens. You've already failed. Okay? So having a sense of urgency and a sense of delayed gratification, that is important. A farmer doesn't plant 10 seed and wait to see what sprouts out of the ground tomorrow. That's what most partners do, and they quit because they overestimate the beginning results and they gravely underestimate the long-term results. Having a sense of urgency, like making time to do it, is critical, and having delayed gratification. Next item, self-perception and personal growth. You got to see it in your mind before you can believe it can happen to you. I'm going to recommend the book, and I'm going to keep this moving, okay? One of my favorite books, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Not the modern day version, but the old school version. How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was one of the first book, if not the first book I read in network marketing when I started almost 30 years ago. It changed my life because I learned how people think and how people move and how to move people. What did that do for my self-esteem? Well, my self-esteem was already fairly healthy, right? But it grew. I grew. I learned this confidence about influencing people, how to win friends and influence people. And you don't need to be an influencer to do it. You have to have human fuel. Men cry for it. Men die for it. Babies cry for it. It's recognition. I build a recognition culture no matter where I go. And it's all good, guys. So hopefully you understand that. We're going to deep dive on that later. But self-perception and personal growth, if you don't see yourself being able to succeed and you're not having the small wins, you're not going to persist through the challenges. Number 4, have a plan. I already told you a goal is a decision with a plan. The word decide is an is-side word, like suicide, homicide, genocide. Something got to die. Many of you haven't decided. You're still double-minded in what you want to do. I don't know if I want people to know I'm in direct sales or MLM. See, you're still undecided about your conviction. So you're willy-nilly, you're hot one day, you're cold the next because of what other people think. You make a decision. Decision means the death of doubt, right? D-I, die, that's dual, duality. Side, it means death. The death of duality is a decision. You choose one option. And that's I'm going director, and you've written that down and stuck it on your forehead or your bathroom wall. I even had it on my steering wheel. Like, I got stuff everywhere. My brain is constantly picking up signals. That's why I hit all my goals. Like, just crush them. One executive director really fast. When advanced executive director, as soon as they brought the rank out. Not because I'm special, but my brain is tuned in. I'm extremely focused. That's called a signal. Most of us are so distracted, we have a weak signal. Family things going on, cousins coming over, bosses getting you upset, TV series, all these things that are distractions to you, reaching out to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people a day, which you should be doing, which is very minimal in my opinion, but moving on. The next one, number 5, Business 101. What is Business 101? Knowing what you sell and who you're selling it to. If I'm selling sneakers, I'm not basketball shoes, Jordans, I'm not going to the nursing home. Wrong market. I may get a couple old school guys in there that want some Jordans, but that's not the right market. So I did a search on Google months ago, and I was like, who is the market demographic for peptides, GLP-1s, and that market out of pocket? This is not an insurance market. If you're doing that type of market research, or you're saying, who's buying GLP? They're going to tell you all kind of people buying GLP because insurance paying for it. See, this is what business is. Some of you are practitioners, you're business owners. When you got in your current business that you're in now, you did the market research. You know who your target audience is, or you should have. If you don't know what you're selling and who you're selling it to, you are going to waste time. I did the research. It's middle-aged women with an income of $75,000 or more. Regardless of racial demographic, guys, it's middle-aged women with $75,000 in income or more. Because typically, if she's married and got a spouse, she got his paycheck too. And they're buying peptides. Just look at LEMD's customer profile when you go to our websites and see who's posting up the most testimonies. I'm a middle-aged, I'm 53. I'm a brown, bald-headed guy. I do not fit the demographic for consuming this type of market. It's almost like I'm in a company like Mary Kay and I'm selling, makeup. I don't fit that market demographic. But the one thing about Gary Simmonds, I know how to make decisions and manifest through work, not just, toxic positivity with my head in the clouds. Once I put my head in the clouds, I put my boots on the ground and I go to freaking work. Many of you don't work hard enough. You work like sissies. You don't work. You do a little bit and then you complain if it doesn't work and you're just sissying all over the place. No, we're getting in the ring. We're taking it on the chin. I'm going for 60 no's today. Write that down, guys. I'm going for 60 no's today because I know if I turn over enough coal, I'm going to flip over a diamond one day. That's what diamond miners do. They don't sit there and turn over a piece of coal and cry because it's not a diamond. They try to see how much coal they could flip over as fast as they possibly can, like this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures. December 10th, 2024. I posted this and it resonates with people. I was flipping over all kind of rocks trying to find me a Sydney Crater. I was turning over all kind of rocks trying to find me a George Ward. Most people quit after the first 5 or 10 people. They try to get in. They try to get him in. They ain't get in, so boo-hoo! I'm going to settle for mediocrity and complain. Nope. Next rock. I didn't get any today. Okay, next day. Next. I didn't get any today. Okay, next day. I didn't get any. They're all rocks. They're all duds. They're not ready. They're lying. They're not buying. They're not even trying. Next day. Boom. George said yes. Hey, Carolyn said yes. Hey, then I go through 30, 40 more of that, man. 30 days. Nothing. Okay, tomorrow. That's what y'all don't have. Okay, tomorrow. Y'all be quitting and going to watch Lord of the Rings. Okay, tomorrow. Or, The Biggest Loser. Okay, tomorrow. Or Chef Warrior. Y'all watch so much TV. That's why you're not a director. You watch so much TV. And I keep flipping. And I didn't even find Latoya Moody. George Ward did. Okay? Guys, that's what it is. How do you think I found Coach Tony Freeney? Cold market. Knocking on doors, flipping over coal, 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 flipping over coal. Boom, diamond. I'm a star. No, I'm not. I just did the work that most people won't do. Most people have a lazy relationship with grinding. Moving on to the next phase. The warriors versus the winners. I don't work with whiners. I work with warriors and winners, not whiners, and I don't recommend you work with whiners. You don't have to judge people, but when they start whining, you have no cheese for their wine, you got to go. A lot of people in life want you to be mediocre too, so they're going to complain to try to get you to quit with them because they've already quit. They quit on life a long time ago, guys. The dream stealer stole their dreams. Sometimes it's even their spouse, and that's unfortunate. But the dream stealer's always after you. You got to keep that dream in your heart that you had when you were a child. We're not supposed to just get a social security number at birth, a taxpayer ID. That's what we get. Your child, the first thing the government had you to do is agree to get them a taxpayer ID, a SSN. They're going to pay taxes, guys. We're tax bots. And I won't even get into who the 13 families that own the 13 colonies that still represent the United States. If you haven't figured that out by now, you've just been busy in the W-2 system probably for too long. But you got to benefit from tax write-offs. I like warriors, people who take it on the chin and get up and fight. They ain't got time to whine. They want to work. They want to build a legacy for their family. They're willing to learn. The same tenacity they used to get through college. All right? And then I want to talk about next your pull. What kind of pull you got? You see, some people can come in and recruit a whole bunch of people. They go to another company, do the same thing. They got that pull. They got that influence. People are only signing up with you and joining you in most cases because of the influence you have over them. And if you don't have much, you better be leveraging influence. You better be borrowing it from somebody. Because unless they have a severe need, like when I met Coney, she had a need. When she met Dr. Sky had a need. She was looking for something. A lot of people aren't in that place of need. Sometimes they'll join you because of friendship. Maybe you just have that great thing that they just love about you. That's a friendship. Or maybe it's admiration. You got influence over them, guys. Most people don't have that. They think they do. It's a blind spot. The people that recruit a lot and sell a lot out the gate, they have influence. The average person doesn't have influence, but they're promoting the same thing. You can copy and paste the same post, but they're going to have a different response because their pull is far, F-A-R. They have a far pull. Friendship, admiration, and respect. Those are the only reasons why people are joining you. Friendship, admiration, and respect. Or they have a dire need, and it almost doesn't matter who you are, unless you have a bunch of crap on your page when they go visit you, if you message them, and you got all kind of stuff that's just not professional. They're like, no, I'm going to find somebody else to fill this need. But if you present yourself as a professional, they're going to tell in 3 seconds what you do. And I love my kids, but they're not for my business page. I know your husband got a 6-pack, but that's not for your business page. People need to know what you do in 3 seconds. Mercedes-Benz, nobody's confused about what they sell when you go to their website. Neither with JCPenney. They don't have puppies on there. They don't have your kids getting a diploma. I mean, that's great if you do, if you got a personal Facebook for that. But if you're reaching out to business and you're trying to build an audience of people who are recognizing you for being in business, they better know in 3 seconds what the heck you're doing. I get people that buy from me all the time because of what they see on my page when they get there as a stranger. Moving on. Y'all don't understand how much pull you have. All right. The next one, that's going to go into the cold market, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit because that goes into the pull. But I'm going to touch on that when I get to the A business. Let's talk about another hot topic right here. I'm going to slow down just a tiny bit. Being the self-expert versus using a third-party expert and having some conviction about what you're doing. I slow down a little bit on the brakes here because this is the number one thing that stops people. They are the self-expert. And they may sell some product, but the people they bring in ain't doing that. They're not going to be an expert to their friends. They don't know this stuff. So then you get a bunch of customers and some partners that won't do what you've done because they can't. They got to see you connect to someone else. I'm going to have Miss Latoya Moody come on because she's actually exemplified this. She's a living proof copy of what I'm talking about right now. It's a three-way call and not being the self-expert. She's an advanced registered nurse practitioner. She knows the stuff, guys. But she made an intelligent decision because I asked her to. Just make an intelligent decision to expose people, build a big audience, and play dumb. She's like, I'm on it. She became the first director in our organization, founding director, okay, outside of myself. And then she became the first founding executive director outside of myself in this organization. And she's well on her way to founding advanced executive director. She's probably done 400 three-way calls. She doesn't talk to people. She connects them to a third-party expert instead of being a self-expert. So, Miss Moody, if you could jump on real quick and talk about the importance of that, the gravity of that, how you do that. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, ma'am. The line is yours. Take it away.
Awesome, awesome. So, when I started here and made the decision to execute your plan, you said not to be the expert. And I am a nurse practitioner. I'm a bodybuilder. I was familiar with that, but in my role as a nurse, I understand the relationship between being the expert. I see patients all the time in the clinic, and they come in, and some of them it doesn't matter what I say. They'll come into the office and say, "I don't want to be on her schedule. I want to see the doctor." So I have to go in there. And even though I know everything that Dr. Isaac is going to say, I'm like, okay, well, let me go grab the doctor for you. And I just bring Dr. Isaac in there and I'm like, you need to bless the room. And she goes in there, says everything I said, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden they smile, they're happy. And you know what? I'm happy to do that. She can have all of the clout. That's fine. Patient's happy, and we go on. So I really apply that here. I'm not the expert. I don't answer questions when I have people that have questions. I just say, let me grab Mr. Simmonds so he can help answer your questions. He knows he's the expert here. He knows all about these products. So let me grab him. I don't give them a chance to think that I'm the expert. I don't even start the conversation like that. And honestly, guys, it's like as a primary care physician, I know there's a lot of medical providers here, coaches, but a primary care doctor, when a patient has gallbladder disease or they need surgery, they don't try to act like they are the surgeons and they're going to go in there and cut that patient. They're going to say, I'm going to refer you to Dr. Jones. He's the surgeon and he's going to do your surgery. So oftentimes, even here in this role, people don't, they already understand that there's a hierarchy. There's, experts, people are more familiar. They're not going to think that you're not educated, but they understand that you're not the peptide expert. So, if you leverage that, they shouldn't give you any issues. I've done 400 three-way calls and no one has ever given me any flack on, getting on the call with Mr. Simmonds because I preface the conversation that way. I lead it into that and they just follow through. So, That's all I have to say for tonight.
That's awesome. No, that's incredible. And here's what I teach, and I've been telling people this a lot. About half of the people that you do a three-way call with typically, will upgrade. Like this says on this picture, 6 three-way calls, 3 orders, right? So when somebody says, hey, I want to go advanced brand partner, well, have you given me 6 three-way calls? No. Well, I want to drive west to California to meet my grandma before she passes. Did you start the engine of the car? No. It's like when I used to do tech support. They go, I'm having this problem. I say, well, is the computer plugged in? Let me check. Oh, no, it's not plugged in. That's how most people are, and that's why they're stuck. They won't do the steps. They choose to ignore the steps because they're chasing sales. That's what they do. And like, well, I'm not a team manager yet. Do you have 23-way calls? No. Guys, nobody in this company has what you all have access to every day. People pay for this. People pay me for this when I do it publicly. I just don't want to do it publicly right now. And they pay good in groups. I just had a leader text me just now, a big leader, like, hey, we got people asking, like, how are you all doing this? How are you posting up 200, 300 confirmations to a Zoom? You guys are doing this 3, 4, 5 times a week. That's not normal. You won't even find this in network marketing, per se. I know. I've been in it for 30 years. You find a bunch of freaking hype and a bunch of lingo. I'm not into the hype and the lingo and the clout. Don't carry my briefcase. I ain't into that hero worshiping stuff. I'm trying to figure out how many people I can help get paid to get home with their kids and get out of the financial slavery that, we're getting into by default. I want to go direct to Gary. I'm trying really hard. No, you're not. No, you're not. You spend a lot more time watching TV than focusing on 63-way calls because it's spelt out everywhere in our system if you're focused on it. So I mean that respectfully and with love, but I'm just here to tell you the truth. Okay? The roadmap is here, guys. Our team has this. And there are people that want this really bad and don't have access to the knowledge and the training that so many of you here take for granted. I'm not beating you up, but I'm just saying you have no excuses. This is 30 years microwaved into a system that all you're basically doing is following 5 simple steps that I've even put into an app now. You just basically go into the app and push the button. Guys, when I'm on a yacht 2-3 years from now and some of you are still broke, maybe if you're broke in this business and you're stuck, it's your fault. When Coach Tony and Dr. Sky and George Ward and Cindy Crater and Latoya Moody and all these people, Jessica White, are just, hey, we did the system. They do the system. They're not better than you and they don't have more context than you and they don't have more knowledge than you because they don't use their knowledge anyway. They make an intelligent decision to play dumb and they don't skip any of the steps. If the recipe asks for 5 eggs, why would you put 4? People skip step 3 a lot. And I've updated this today to make it say you're going to book a time to not talk. That's not to condescend you. That's to help you to understand how important that step is because it's a step that most people miss. Okay? So let's move on down the station. Thank you for that, Miss Moody. The next topic, conviction of system. Real quick touch and go here, guys. If I'm the professor at a medical program or you're the professor at the medical program, and we're running a nursing program or a doctor's program, physician's education, and we get a couple of students in there like, hey, we're not comfortable with blood. Next. We're not changing the curriculum. We got to train these nurses, EMTs, and doctors to cut people and save lives. You're going to see some blood and guts and some pus. If you're not here for that smoke, it's fine. Go take massage therapy. Go do counseling. We're not changing the curriculum for you because this has been proven to create experts in the field. This has been proven, right, to produce people that are out there making an impact in this space of medicine or whatever it is, whatever field it is. This is notable what we do. We've proven it. Nobody can doubt what our system does for the people who are doing it. The people in this team with the biggest ranks have done the most three-way calls. She did 400, so she's got over 100 partners and 100 customers. I've counted them. About half, which is what this system actually teaches for the people who say, Gary, I really want to make it. No, you don't. I know you don't want to make it because you're not in the car with the seatbelt on driving on I-20. You're in the woods somewhere experimenting, not paying attention to the GPS at all. That's how I know you're not serious, and you don't have to lie to me. Just don't lie to yourself, all right? So moving on down the station, this is the roadmap, and it's here for you, and I mean that in a loving way. So conviction of system means I ain't changing the curriculum because somebody's uncomfortable. There's no success in the comfort zone anyway. Now, if they're not trying to do this business, if they're not trying to build that, then yeah, they don't have to be comfortable with what I'm teaching. They can go do something else that, go on boards or go to corporate and learn how to Study peptides and sell it to 10 people this month. I don't know. And when you run out of contacts, good luck being stuck, Chuck, because that's what's happening. Moving on down the station, next item is a 5-step funnel. I talked about that just a little while ago, just briefly. I'm not going to deep dive on it because I made a new video today covering the same thing, just explaining it a little clearer, and I added some things about getting to the documents on the web page and the app. But the 5-step funnel is a recipe, guys. Ain't nobody here lost. Well, have you watched the video? No, I didn't watch the video. So why are you lying to yourself? You're not serious. Well, I watched the video one time. What's the next step? Stop asking me what's the next step. Unless you're brand new, you've only been in this team for like a week or two or 3 weeks or less, guys. It takes 21 days to make a habit, right? I made this video and I watched it 10, 20 times. I know this video. Jessica White knows this video. She came in and watched our training and launched herself and went director, advanced director the next month, and now she's a senior director on her way to executive director. When you're hungry enough, you don't need it to be pretty. Gary, I don't like how you say that. Too bad. That's how I say it. Find someone else's voice that you could follow if you can't follow mine or someone else, but you can't have 10 different coaches at the same time. You're going to get your head knocked off on the field because you don't know who to listen to. You're confused. I'm following this person because that's shiny. Oh, this team is doing that. No, your team is doing this. The universe got you here for a reason. So if you can't hear the voice of the leader that you've chosen, and I'm not a leader because I have a rank. I got a rank because I did the freaking work. I'm not the top of nothing because of who I am. I did the numbers, guys. I'm an advanced executive director. Put some respect on that thing. I did the work, and I'm still doing the work. I'm getting ready to go into phase 2. I've been building this app since April for the last 8-9 months after I hit executive director, though, right? You lead by example. Leadership is not a position. You can't command it. It means to take the lead. You did it first, but let me move on. If you don't understand this, it's because you don't want to. I've had videos on this for months, and it's posted every single day when we post up our Zoom numbers. You just don't want it bad enough, but I'm talking to the people who do. What I teach and what I do is not for the weak. It ain't for people who want to play around because I'm going to offend you. I don't mean to, but warriors talk warrior talk. Warriors talk locker room talk. I don't need no coach playing pansy with me. I need a coach to call my card and help me to win. Don't lie to me. Tell me what I got to do because I got to get to grandma before she dies. I need to know how to drive to California the fastest route with the least amount of friction. Most of you seem like you love friction. I don't know why. You just want to follow the steps. Okay? And then you're gonna follow up until it hurts them. Follow up until it hurts. Not you, them. You'll have people, like Tony says this all the time, like, oh yeah, I follow up them. Like, you ain't following up till you followed up 16 times, guys. Minimum 14. But that's why you see the same pizza commercial over and over. They're following up with you. They're retargeting you. That's business. If you're in business, you need to be retargeting. But get through your contact list first. Don't follow up with the same 10 people forever. And you're scared to reach out to other 1,500 people in your phone. Reach out to all of them first. Plant all the seeds first. And then expect the harvest as you follow up. And they'll tell her, like, I'm ready, sis. And she's like, look, Gary, I done followed up with this person 17 times. Yeah. Because now they're hurt. Their doctor done gave them a bad report. Now they remember you. If you're not following up, you're not maximizing your results. So you want to follow up until it hurts them. Follow up until it hurts. Next thing, partner launches. You want to launch at least 10 times. Okay? That's what you want to focus on in partner launching. I tell my partners to take the corporate compliance and corporate onboarding after they launch. Because if they take it before, corporate's trying to do a good job. They don't know whose team is on who and who has a leader, so they're trying to be very general with how to play football. Well, over here, we got a football playbook. We're not a defensive team. We're offense. We don't just post and hope and share your passion. Oh, be your authentic self. Hogwash. Hogwash. Nobody cares about your authentic self and your authentic story. Not until they have FAR. Not until you got some pull. A high level of friendship, admiration, or respect. Period. If you don't have influence over your network, they don't care about your passion. So you're going to be sitting there playing defense and nobody's running at you. We over here, we play offense. We run at them. We get all in the DMs. We follow up. We invite them to Zoom. We're very proactive. We're reaching out to people and getting in front of influence. So moving on down the station here. Launching is life, guys. That's the power of the launch. Over and over and over and over till you find the right people that want to win as bad as you do. And then you focus, like I said, on building your audience in waves. And this is what that looks like. Well, this is how it started. I started tracking this back in August when I started. 26 people on my first Zoom. Okay. Guys, we had 26 partners that came in actually. We had 108 people then that came for the month. 26 on my first, 15 on my second. But this was August, my first full month. I had 108 people that showed up to a Zoom for the month, for the whole month. Now we do that per day, 5 times a week, because I put pressure on it. I just kept banging at the rock in the same spot till it freaking cracked. Most of you don't bang hard enough. You don't knock where 10,000 was the goal. No, 37,000 now. That's where we are. We don't play with building the audience because we're not out there trying to sell peptides to anybody. Hani Sigari asks us not to do that. She asks us to be professional pointers. So why am I being a peptide expert if I'm supposed to be a professional pointer? You see, if you launch, you create that first wave. You sponsor those 15 to 20 people. Only 3 I'm going to build a business. The rest I'm going to be whiners and do all kind of stuff, all up in the woods. I don't know what they're doing in the woods. I ain't going in there with them. I'm looking for the 3 people that's looking to launch too and continue to launch over and over until they find their runners and they find their runners and they find. So we're building this audience in waves. Okay. So it's not hearsay. You're not hearing theory. You're hearing real live action. That's where I was when I came into Ellie. And I started putting the information out there, guys. I started just doing it. And everything kind of just took off. So you're not looking at anything that hasn't actually been done in real time. I'm teaching you that I've been copying and pasting text messages to people, and not only did I succeed, I've helped other people to succeed and hit the top 1/3 of 1% of this company. And the 2 young ladies that are on this picture with me, they've done the most 3-way calls. I can count them backwards and tell you that's true. So no need for theory or hype. So you build your audience in waves, and then you build multiple waves. And what y'all don't know, that's just batch number 1. And I'm not going to deep dive on that, but my goal is to build 3 batches as fast as I can. Okay, a batch takes about a year, maybe a year and a half. Most people won't be here next year to see the second batch anyway. They already quit. They just still got an ID number. Hopefully you're around building batches for yourself and for your family's legacy, because I think we're in 2 different businesses, I'm telling you. Most people are not in the same business that the leaders that are here paying attention are actually in. So you want to have a rank and income goal. Again, if you don't have goals, you don't understand what you're doing. Dr. Sky went senior director a few months ago, and she was really close. She wasn't supposed to go senior director. She was early. She's like, Gary, I'm like, the people just ain't caught up to you yet, girl. You've been going too fast. She's like, well, I got to hit this rank. I need some extra protein for my office anyway. I'm like, get that protein, girl. Buy it. Get that stuff and use it for promos next month. That was smart. What did she do? She invested into her advertising. That's business. Because when you're hitting a rank, you're creating a new story, and that draws people to your story. And now she's on her way to advanced executive director. Some of you don't invest in your business. You're just waiting for people to make you rich. You're not a consumer. You're not a merchant-minded person. You're a consumer-minded person. You think like a consumer. That's why your business can't grow. You got to be willing to invest in product, promos, incentives to get people to move forward. Latoya will actually buy a whole month of protein up front for somebody because she knows they're going to buy the next 2 months and she'll make the money back. That's what business-minded people do. Cindy Crater does it too. There's no way she'd have 13,000 PV without running a lot of deals. Same thing that Best Buy and Papa John's do. They run deals. Business people are always running deals. You got to shift from being a consumer mind to a merchant mind if you're going to have merchant-minded results. Okay? Don't take too much time off, guys. Okay, I'm not going to talk about building ranks, but let's touch a little bit on cold market. I have this system called the ABC, right? ABC system is basically where you message people that you don't know and you just freaking get to the point. I'm not into romancing somebody with a fake relationship to see if I could pitch them later. I think that's unfair. That's just me. I want to know to the point. Like if I'm selling kidneys and your grandma needs a kidney and I got a kidney, ain't nothing I could say that you won't buy that kidney from me. I don't even have to be nice. Kidney salespeople do not have to be nice. I can knock at your door at 11 o'clock at night. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all want a freaking kidney? A what? Yeah, we were just in here praying. We're crying because we couldn't get on the donors list and grandma about to die. See, a lot of y'all ain't got nothing to fight for. You don't want to die for nothing. That's why you won't do what it takes. But if you need a kidney and the kidney salesman shows up, you're going to invite him in for a drink or dinner, and he can cuss everybody out. You're still going to buy the kidney. Raise your hand if you know I'm telling the truth. You see, when somebody needs something bad enough, I don't got to play around with them. and pretend to be their friend to pitch them later, that's disingenuous in my opinion. I get to the point. If I had to ask you, let me ask you a question. If you had to learn about peptides, what would you prefer to learn about? A, these benefits, B, making money from it, C, or both. And boom, next door. I got a kidney. You want a kidney? You want a kidney? You want a kidney? Nobody wants a kidney. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Just not the people you reached out to. You got to reach out to more people. I encourage you to message friend request 40 people a day. Because if you're friend requesting 40 people a day, you'll probably get 8 of them that engage back with you. Hey, thanks, or no thanks, whatever. You're going to get some engagements. The 80-20 rule, that's about 20%. You're doing that, guys. Even if you're only doing that 20 days out the month, you got 160 people that have engaged you in your inbox because you're sending friend requests. Facebook has over 200 million free leads in the U.S. 2 billion worldwide, 200 million in the U.S. None of us should be running out of contacts to talk to. None of us. Because you're not following the system, you're not willing to apply yourself and learn, you don't have anybody else to talk to, and you want to make excuses, but don't make them to me. Don't make them to me. That's 1,900 people a year that you have an opportunity to invite to the Zoom. So don't tell me why you're not a director. Tell your kids why mommy got to work overtime. I don't want to hear it. All right. Moving on down the station. Cold market wins. Some of you think you're just supposed to go out there and post and hope. Post and hope. No. Nobody cares about the book that I write. If I write a book about my life, nobody cares until I give that book to Oprah because she has influence, or Dr. Oz, right? Now people want to buy GLP because Oprah's coming out about GLP. That's how influence works. When you're edifying an expert and allowing them to take your 3-way call for you, you're leveraging expertise and influence. That is the secret to this business, in case you haven't picked it up by now. It's called credibility. It's the key that unlocks the business. When you're credible and not just a peer, people will actually move forward. So hopefully you understand that. I'm going to drop a heavy topic, but I'm not going to deep dive on it because I got about 7 minutes and I got to finish up on time. The A business and the B business. I know you don't know what that is because you haven't been taught yet. But here it is. This is what I'm after. See, when I find somebody, they may not be the right person for me to work with. If they're not ready to order, I'm like, go find the money to order. This is America. Put something on offer up from your garage. You shouldn't have bought it anyway. That's why a lot of people don't have money. We buy stuff we shouldn't have bought anyway. That's why people have debt. They buy stuff ahead of their time. So when they say they ain't got money, it just means it's not important enough to buy it ahead of its time. So I'm going to move on. But your A business is what you do. That's your PV. That's your personal circle, guys. That's you and your customers, your customer volume, your PV, your contact list that you invite to Zooms, people you can get from social media. If you're running ads, that's fine. Cold messaging, email campaigns, anything goes. There's no rule to how you find a customer because it's an extension of your personality and how the world perceives you, how you project yourself. But once you find them, they're getting up in your PV. You get an order. That's why you want to do a 3-way call. Because they may not be able to do any of this. They may just have some friends in their contact list. And if you let them talk to your third-party expert, they realize somebody's helping you so we can launch them. And what do we launch them into? We launch them into the B business right here. That's a duplication. How many people I got to talk to? Whatever it takes. Doesn't matter. Maybe your network ain't strong, so you got to do more work. So I'm looking for those 5 to 10 partners that I want to get in. That 20% rule says I'm going to find one who's a fire, man. If I sponsor 5 to 10 people, I got a fire, and I'm looking to build a fire in the basement. Write that down. I'm looking to build a fire in the basement. Once I help George, I'm trying to find Latoya. If this person ain't the one, that's fine. I'm going to launch him anyway. That's why you got to launch your partners. Because every deck of cards got 4 aces in it. I got to launch that person before they quit because they're probably going to say the wrong things to the network and quit. Not till I get down there and find Tony. I got to find their fire, man. I may have to go through 2 links before I find me a leader. I'm after that leader. And guess what happens when I find that fire in the basement? All of a sudden, this person's like, wait a minute. How come it's $50,000 worth of volume out here underneath me that I'm not getting paid on? Gotcha. All of a sudden, they want to do the work. They want to qualify for commissions now because seeing is believing. My job is to sponsor someone and create success below them if they're letting me. If they ain't doing the 3-way calls, they're not letting me, and I'm going to go find another leg. I ain't got time for that. I don't got time to have people fight me. I'm looking for stars, somebody who's a self-starter, somebody who's teachable, somebody who's accountable, and willing to reach out to those 600 contacts, whether they know them or not. If they're not doing that, they're not in the business that I'm in. Okay, because I got to get through this next link to find me another leader, and then boom, I got a Jessica White I'm working with down there. Man, hallelujah! I'm doing that thing. She might be a link. You may be Tanya Candy, and the boom, she shows up. Hey, I got me another leader. A fire in the basement, and I'll go through maybe a couple of links possibly, and I'll find me a Jennifer Worsland. Guys, this is called building an anchor or a taproot, and it's what secures your business long term. So if I got $100,000 worth of business down here, where do you think he going? Nowhere. That's why my teams don't quit. That's why I was collecting a 6-figure residual income for over 10 years. My partners weren't jumping ship to join other companies, guys. They was already making $2,000 a month, $10,000 a month, some of them 20. They weren't going anywhere. And then some leaders, even in this company, make the grave mistake. And I know they don't know any better, so I don't judge them. They're like, well, LMD pays 4 levels. I don't want to work below my 4 levels. You do not understand what you're in. Well, I don't want to go down and help people past my 5th generation because I'm not going to get paid. You do not understand we're not in the same business. I'm trying to go 20 levels deep, but they're talking about not going past 4. Why do I want to go 20 levels deep? Well, I get paid 5 generations that are unlimited anyway, if you understand the comp plan. But I won't deep dive on the comp plan. I'm trying to teach you something. Every house has to have a foundation. My 4 levels is the house I live in, guys. My 5 generations is the house I live in. That's where my bills are paid, my future is being set, my retirement account is being funded. If I don't go help this guy build something underneath them and secure their business, I'm in a house without a foundation. I don't need to get paid on them. I need to go help those people secure their businesses so they don't quit. So when I quit, we all quit one day. When I stop, I never have to come back and rebuild this leg. It's 20 levels deep, guys. That's the business I'm in. If you don't help the people past your 4 levels, when they're not making money, there's no business under here, and some new company launches offering peptides for 5 cents less, they're gone. They're like, you making all that damn money up here anyway. I ain't making nothing. I need to be a leader too, and they're out of there. But if they're making $4 or $5 a month, they ain't going nowhere. Raise your hand if you understand that. That's the master class, what I just showed you. That is the master class. That's what most people in network marketing that have influence and great social circles and affluence, and they know how to get orders and recruit other leaders. That's the kind of stuff they have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm not interested in helping my buddy George. He's good. I'm going down here to find somebody else who's going to lock that leg in and freaking blow this thing up and put $1 million of volume down there so I could retire. Because now they know what to do. All of a sudden, these people that have been camping out, they're like, man, I better go to work. So guess what this guy on the 4th or 5th level does? Guess what he does? Now he go bring me $10,000 more worth of volume because he want to get paid. So what have they done? They've blown up my 4th levels. They've blown them up with a whole lot of volume I wouldn't have gotten in those 4 levels if I didn't put $1 million in volume underneath this person. That is the master class. So when you're building 3 legacy legs, that's what it looks like. If I'm working with partners that don't give me access to their downline, I'm in another leg. I ain't fighting nobody. There's 300 million people in this country. I'm not wrestling you for your access to your network. I fence to find me somebody else that's going to let me go 10, 15, 20 levels deep in this leg and lock it in for my granddaughters. And that's my first batch. That's my first batch. I'm trying to build at least 3. All we're doing is inviting people to Zooms and playing dumb. If you can't learn that system, I don't know what to tell you. I got to study peptide certification. You're not in the same business. Maybe you just want to be a seller and an expert. That's fine. No offense. You shouldn't be on this call. I'm talking to people who want to learn how to build and eventually walk away because they have a network that's just spitting out 10, 15, 20 grand worth of orders every day. That's where we're at now. As I wrap up here, building those legacy batches, the last thing I'll talk about is having a celebration culture. We're not here to play pansy, but we celebrate the success. Human beings thrive on recognition. It's how we are. You know, Mrs. Anderson, why does Billy get a gold star? Well, Billy did his work. Well, look now, I'm not being bad anymore. I'm doing my work now. We never outgrow that. Say, hey, baby, my friend Susan, I see them. They're going to Paris. They're over here going to Hawaii. Why we keep going to Disney World? She started feeling a little pressure on Honey, like, we need to go to Paris. Because Susan them just got a new house. We're about to grow in this house. Is it right or wrong? No, it's human. We love to be at the same pace with our peers, so we feel like we're not falling behind. That's just humanity. If there wasn't a competitive drive in human beings, we would never have evolved. We would never seek a safer neighborhood. We would never seek a bigger car for our families. Some of you are double dipping in multiple businesses, and it's fine if you got the other one working, but some of y'all are trying to start two things at the same time, and none of them ain't working yet. It's okay to let it go and focus. You can't drive on I-10 and I-20 at the same time. That's not possible. That's why a lot of you can't grow. You're not decided. You haven't picked a path and said, I'm going to do this number 3-way calls. Is this in this week, a week for the next 4 months? You haven't picked that. You haven't written your goal. You got your goals written down? Nope. What does it take to go director? I don't know, Gary. I'm just trying to go. You're not going anywhere. You haven't read the roadmap. You haven't looked at the GPS. You haven't planned a route. You're not going to meet grandma before she dies. Your grandma going to die, and you ain't going to see her because you haven't made a decision with a plan. You haven't set a goal with a date on it. Those are the simple things that people are not doing. They haven't physically written down their goals. So the universe owes them nothing. You don't have a physical imprint. Your imprint is still metaphysical. You're in la-la land. But you got to have a celebration culture. Human beings thrive on recognition and forward movement. It is not vain. It is the desire to evolve. It's called freaking ambition. Without ambition, we wouldn't even have kids. We'd never move to a safer neighborhood. We'd never try to get a better job to put those kids to a better college or higher education. Ambition is the fuel of humanity and is rewarded by recognition. That's the point. So you find people around you that are winners and warriors that like to win. A lot of times they ain't in it just for the money. Brett Favre did not retire because of money. He couldn't even retire. He wanted another Super Bowl ring. He wanted another championship. Michael Jordan could not retire. Mike Tyson could not retire. He wanted another win. How many wins have you gotten? How many more wins do you want? I love that LMD came out with a new rank the first day I hit executive director. It gave me something else to run for. I'm looking forward to the next rank. Maybe they'll open up 7 generations now of unlimited pay. It's unlimited to keep you got to earn unlimited pay, right? You got to keep the comp plan stable. This ain't no dual team. We ain't trying to crash the comp plan. You got to earn access to unlimited levels. But all the legs that I work with that are star legs that are working, they're all unlimited levels to me. Because I know what I'm building after 30 years, 17 years of failure and serious mentorship and coaching and never missing events. And I'll wrap up with that. We don't miss events that we qualify to attend. We don't miss events that we qualify to attend. If you miss events, you lack conviction. You're a facts person. You're a facts person. Facts tell, stories sell. When you're at events, you're in an environment that you cannot even explain. It's almost like trying to explain the concert to someone that didn't go. Oh, I can live stream it. Not the same. Not the same. They're not crying. They're not holding up their own flashlight. They didn't have the exchange of energy in the room. And sometimes it's the exchange of knowledge. Sometimes it's like George Ward just said that one thing. And somebody goes, what? I got it now. I got it. And George didn't even know what he said. He's been ingesting information for 10, 15 years. Got all that success mentality in his brain. And the way he said it, it clicked with you. And now you're coachable and you understand and you're running. A lot of people that went to this event in Fort Lauderdale came back and hit rank. Ask Arlisha Abdullah. She came back and smoked director. Okay? Latoya, Moody, and Dr. Sky came back and smoked executive director. Like, seriously, the next damn month. It was insane. And people grew. Ryan McGuire came back and smoked senior manager on her way to director right now. Jennifer Worsland came out of there and smoked director. If you're missing events because you think it's expensive, you're a consumer. If you're missing events because you think you don't have the time, you're a consumer. You're not a merchant. I used to spend $65,000 a year traveling in my last business. I did that for 3 or 4 years straight, and I locked that business in and disappeared because that thing kept growing till it went to 50 million. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the first session of this masterclass. Touch and go. The next series, I'll have other leaders on, and I'm going to kind of break down some of the topics that I went over. I went over 21 topics today, guys. I want to show you some of the examples of the cold market stuff and different things that we use. But I will wrap up with this. I'm going to show you on our team web app where to find some of this training information for those of you that are already in the team and, you're here to kind of learn and you want to know, like, okay, Gary, you got me. Okay. I understand that I'm not doing enough due diligence, that I'm not being as serious as I say I am or think I am. I need to learn. First, you must learn. First, you must learn before you can really earn. Okay. So I'm going to show you where the good stuff is. This ain't app training. I just want to show you our website. This has been up for probably, almost a year. Okay. When you log into this website, my number one favorite video now is this one, like the director's mindset. I don't know why people don't listen to that every day till they go director. If you listen to that every day and you don't go director, something wrong with you. I'm serious. I believe that. Something ain't clicking. You listen to that every day, the same way you read your medical journal to graduate school every day, the same way you read your whatever accountant manual every day till you graduated while you took that course for 9 months. You read your chapters every day, practice with your friends in the flashcards every day. If you don't practice with your friends in the flashcards in this business, you're not getting an MBA. This is a massive bank account. It's a different degree here. You're not getting it though, because you're not applying yourself. The only reason you're not there is because you're not applying yourself as you have in other places where you're already successful. You're already successful. You're just an executive director for your boss, not for yourself. All right. So I'm going to click on the red resources diamond up here at the top on this page. And voila, here we go. I got some common responses here. Why is that important? What's there? Well, I could look at the income to estimate rank estimates and kind of no income claims, but kind of show you what I'm going to be making at director and advanced executive director. We don't tell people how much money we made. Okay. But it's there. Where the business Zoom link at? It's right there. How do I order as a customer? It's right there. How do I enroll as a partner? How do I upgrade from customer to partner? Y'all keep asking the same questions and it's right here only because you don't know. All right. And there's no judgment if you don't know. How to run on protein promos? It's right there. That's my picture. I'm on the protein website, guys. Been there for a long time. All right. Here's a script you can use. And here's the Holy Grail, cold market message. If you're using this after you go through your contact list, be coachable. Go through your contact list first. There's even a full video here that tells you how to use it. But now you don't have to write down your leads in Excel spreadsheets anymore. We got it in the app now. You can save them as a contact. How do you respond to the ABC message? We invite them to Zoom. Just watch the video. Okay. What's an icebreaker? Let's see if you haven't talked to somebody for a long time. You want to kind of break the ice. I just send them a text. Hey there, it's been a while. That's it. Just send that to everybody on your phone. Hey there, it's been a while. And they're like, yeah, how are you? I'm doing good. And you hit them with option 1 or you hit them with option 2. You can even go to the schedule right there and get the Zoom link and send it to them, guys. Y'all have such a meticulous system. I just think you don't know what's here while you're not using it. But if you apply yourself, you're able to save yourself. I ain't here to save nobody. I'd rather run with 1 than drag 20. I ain't dragging you. I ain't dragging your kids. I ain't dragging your grandma. I ain't dragging nobody. Because you'll resent me eventually for doing that. You got to save yourself. Our job is to give you the tools to help you to do that. All right? So moving on down the station, I'm going to move back here. What if they're not interested? What if they ignore you? It's right there. Watch the video. There's a video right there. Okay? Cold market video. What if I'm already using GLP? It's right here. Watch the video. There's even a script there you could copy. Okay, let me look at that black button. Training and resources, though. Okay, got a bunch of team videos here. Bunch of videos. One of them here are labeled the Jessica White video because she kind of launched herself. This one, working the system. This video is hot, man. She had a launch call scheduled with me and Latoya, and she went in and watched that video real quick and went and launched herself. I think she texted like 600 people that first day. Well, how do you think she went senior director so fast? It wasn't by accident or because she's a networker. She thought about quitting that first week. I'm going to have her on one of these calls telling you that. She's like, man, I'm about to give up. I don't know if this is going to work. But Gary and Latoya keep saying I'm going to make it, and I didn't want to let them down because she has a sense of personal accountability. She's not a quitter. All right? And there's a tool in here that your upline can help you estimate your rank for the month. I'm not going to get into it, but I built this tool. Nobody should be guessing where they're going to end up in the month. And then there's a comp plan section here where you can learn the comp plan. It tells you where to find it in the back office. There's even an example and a whole video that I recorded with corporate when I trained corporate on the comp plan my second week in this company. I understand the comp plan. How to set up your pay quicker and how we get paid each week and what we get paid for. It's all here on the comp plan for the people who want the knowledge. And there's even a model that breaks down the comp plan phase by phase for people who want to understand it. I even break down the generations, guys. And you can track that. You can track that here with this video, this comp plan video that I did with Laura Waghorn and Jennifer Harmon from corporate when I first started with LEMD. So hopefully you guys don't take this information for granted. Hopefully you use it to your benefit and understand that none of us are succeeding by mistake and none of us are better than you. We're just like doing a do. Now we got the FAQ thing here. You can look at it without having to sign in. The FAQ site that prospects get to see when they go in there and use a link that you gave them with your link already coded in it, or they go in and search for your name. So you have access to tools. You just have to be willing to do the work. I appreciate y'all for being on. I thank you all so very much. And congratulations on all the success that we've built together and that we're continuing to build into 2026. God bless you guys. Take care.